Alright, y'all. We've got another one. She really looked dead into the camera and rated herself a 10 out of 10. No hesitation. The confidence? Through the roof. The self-awareness? Nowhere to be found. Let's break down this delusion together and see if she's really living in reality or just a fantasy.
Ask everyone to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10. So let's do that.
10.
Kiko, so okay, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
10.
A fat fucking 10.
A fat fucking 10?
I'm just saying what everybody in the comments is gonna say. Be like, oh yeah, she's a fat fucking 10. Be like, period.
Is there a comma somewhere in that statement?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
What was said was said.
Okay.
Yeah. I said what I said, and I meant what I said.
Okay.
Period.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
8. 10. Answer
Were
stays
you
the same.
Were you a 10 last time?
Yeah, I was a 10 last
Okay.
time.
Billy Ray.
Um,
We should have waited till Deborah was back, but
We'll come back to her. I feel like I'm a 6.7.
Dude, why the fuck would you ever say something like that?
Physically or overall?
Oh, I'm factoring everything in.
Really?
Yes.
With everything factored in?
You know,
hold
if
on.
I were to rate it
Hold on. Hold on.
Sorry.
$200.
Thank you, Martin.
Deborah, no long-term commitment, but we can make an agreement.
She's in the bathroom.
You'll sign a NDA, grow your hair out a bit, convert away from Judaism. I'll coach you to speak a little less.
She's not even
and
here.
fly
Imagine her
you out
hearing this in the
private.
bathroom.
And you and my girlfriend can compete for my affections.
Yo, Marquavius, I'll trigger it again once she's back. So don't worry about that. Thank you, though. Go ahead, Deborah. Or sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead,
Billy.
Deborah.
What do you feel like you could improve on
Toasty, I know
to
you
bring you
ain't
from a
talking.
6.7 to like an 8 or 9?
I feel like my fitness is lacking.
Okay.
Okay, 1 point.
Fitness is lacking?
No, my appearance, I'm not a 10.
Fitness is
appearance-wise. I disagree with
Into
the
the
ratings
mic,
people
into
have-
the mic.
I'm sorry. I disagree with the ratings people have given
Do you know where
themselves.
the rating scale comes from? It's supposed to be if you line up 10 random men and you ask them, would you fuck her? And they were to say yes or no.
Nope.
That's originally where it came
That's
from.
not how. Nope. That's not how
Okay,
that
where'd it come
works.
from? Tell me.
Well, no, I'm
Rating
being,
the
I'm
10 rating scale.
Educate me where it came from.
That's
if you
not
know,
how
if
that
you know,
works.
tell me.
Just think about
Tell me.
Think about it intuitively. If a 10 is like a perfect woman, like absolutely maxed out attractiveness.
10 is supposed to be on physical. It's supposed to be on physical attraction
So if we're
only.
talking,
We're not
if we're
supposed to talk
talking
about
physical
personality.
attraction, yeah.
Yes.
If we're talking just physical attraction, 10 is like the most attractive woman you could possibly imagine.
Yes, it's 10 out of 10 for a
anything-
reason because you're lining up 10 and you're counting how many points are you getting. That's why.
What do you mean you're lining up 10? Where
Like
does
you're
lining
supposed
up
to-
10
you're
women
spo-
come into this?
No, I'm saying 10 men, like, or opposite gender of you. I mean, opposite gender of you. You're supposed to be. It's the point is.
You tracking with this?
Deborah, you guys.
Where did it come from then? Tell me where it came from.
It's like okay, what are you like? If you're a 5, then you're like very like average.
Yes.
If you're like an 8,
because
then
5
you're
out of
like-
10 people would be with you.
No, that's not what that's not what it is.
No, I'm
It's
just
not-
sa- I'm
it's not
saying
how
on
many
a-
people would be with you. It's not how many people would be with you. It's like 10 is physical perfection.
Yes, I
Wait,
understand that.
okay.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Not because 10 guys would sleep with you. Like you could have a girl who's like a 7 and 10 guys would all sleep with her. But that doesn't mean that she's a 10.
Yeah,
like, in
I
terms
didn't
of-
factor in
Thank
that
you, Flan Life.
who would sleep with me in my rating.
we're
Yeah, no,
we're
it's
talking
not-
about off of
It's
attractiveness.
not about how many men would sleep with you.
Okay, thank you. We're talking about attractiveness. You truly believe on a skill base that you're a 6.9.
She said 6.7.
6.7, yeah.
That honestly would make you a 6 in my eyes because it's your confidence level. You're
No, but it's
you're
not.
doubting
Wait, you
yourself.
just
for
looked.
no
You just said
reason.
it's purely
just
based
looks.
on physical attraction.
I know.
You're saying her humility
Eric,
brings her down?
It's a fucking
Hold
joke.
on, guys.
It was a joke.
Ad
It was a
block is.
joke.
You gotta
Thank you.
close that.
And I was talking
Yeah,
to her.
The
F11.
audience still see us?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
No, compared to all of the women in the
W ad
world,
block in
I'm
the
rating
chat.
myself on that scale. Me compared to every
Yeah.
woman in the world.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be the same if you said you're a perfect 10 that people are always going to hate.
I
I
think
think
it's-
as well just go
Okay,
with what
wait,
you
so-
Delusional.
truly believe.
Kiko, going back
You
to
know?
this whole, if you lined up 10 people and if they all wanted to sleep with you, that makes you a 10.
Okay, so they all found you attractive. I was just trying to I was just going.
Yeah,
off
but
of
that's a
like-
binary. Yes or no. Are they attractive? However, there's
Yes.
degrees to attractiveness.
Exactly. That's why it's supposed to be like 10 random people, like maybe from all over the world, like not just 10 people from San
That's-
Francisco or just
that-
10 people from LA. That's
I've
the way
never
to
heard this.
Yeah, I've never heard that
Look it
either.
up.
That's not.
Okay, well, that's not what we mean.
Google, where you look up anything else. Bing, if you use that still, Yahoo.
Okay,
No,
Bravo.
it's like this.
It's
like this. If
degrees.
the hottest possible Victoria's Secret model, just
it's-
physical. Hold on, just physical perfection is a 10. How might you compare yourself to her? Do you think
10.
do you think you're like the most attractive specimen that's ever walked this earth?
I wouldn't say there's.
On
There's
par.
not. Is there not people
On
who are?
par with the most attractive
Can I
specimens
answer?
that have ever walked this earth?
Can I answer?
We give you permission.
Thank you. I mean, he's like keeps shooting things at me and hasn't really let me respond.
Just
Sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, but that's saying that there's only one 10 in the world. There's not only
No, no,
one
no,
10. There's
no.
multiple 10s in the world.
That's not how
And
not
I'm
what I'm
up.
saying.
Yeah, I'm saying yes.
the TikTok
I will
has
include
got into
myself.
your brain, Kiko.
I don't use TikTok really.
You have a TikTok called Rage Quit Kiko.
I know, but I just made that. I have like 900 followers. So
Yeah,
how
you're
is 900
famous.
followers getting
You're
to my
famous, Kiko.
head? Thank you, Brian.
Okay, that I've never heard that. I wish
Look
you
it
had
up.
explained that before, but that's not how you define what
That's
a 10
it right
is.
there. Sean Mays.
Thank
10,
you.
perfect.
Thank you,
9,
Sean.
very beautiful. 8, beautiful. 7, very pretty. Slash
10.
handsome. 6,
So you're
6, pretty handsome. 5, average. 4, below average. 3, unattractive. 2, very unattractive. 1, hideous. Rate accordingly. Hashtag Christ is Lord. Let's go.
10.
So you think you're like physical
Billy, you're not a
perfection?
6.7. All things
Kiko,
considered.
you're a 10 in delusion.
You don't want me to tell what you are,
This-
Brian.
That's right.
Well, I don't think
That's
I'm a
right.
10.
I know that. I would hope not, but that's not
I
what
don't
I'm
think-
saying. I mean,
oh,
overall, you don't want me to tell you what you are.
So I heard I got a super chat while I was gone.
Yeah.
Before we get to
Get
that,
back to my
super
chat.
before we get
I want
to
it
that,
to be
we
about
were,
me.
We were rating.
No, we are. Yeah.
We're
doing
gonna make
the
it about
rating.
you. We were rating ourselves on physical attractiveness.
Oh,
What
okay.
would you give yourself out of 10?
Oh, I don't know if I want it to be about me anymore.
Just answer honestly.
Purely physical.
Like
Purely
almost
physical?
almost all of them on that side gave themselves 10s.
Yeah, I'd say like 8.8 because like there's always more beautiful people in the world, but like I know.
Is that a reference?
Are you asking me that because I'm Jewish? Because you.
No. But 8.8. This is, all right.
818 is Kendall Jenner's horrible tequila.
Bro, do you
But-
think you think a Jew is making a Hitler reference on your show?
Yeah, seriously. I
Jews
told
make
you that before I sat
Hitler
down.
joke. Jews get the pass to make the Hitler joke.
But we
Then
don't.
why are you so offended?
You got your third
If she
Jewish or
has a pass,
something?
why are you so offended?
I'm not offended. What do you mean?
You sounded pretty offended. Is that a Hitler reference?
No, I wasn't offended.
Okay.
Why was I?
Were you excited?
No, I was making a joke.
Okay.
It's a joke.
8.8.
God damn.
I don't know. I think there is an objective attractiveness for people, and I think a lot of that is like the beauty standard. Actually, because I wasn't here for the beginning part, a lot of it comes from the golden ratio. People
Yes.
whose face is the golden ratio and they're
Yep.
symmetrical, that is what attractiveness is.
Yep.
That's why when we see things, we're like, that's aesthetic. It's aesthetic to everyone because
Base.
there's certain things that are pleasing to the eye, like having matching face, a strong jawline, things that's what makes things beautiful. Golden ratio
Yep.
goes
Yep.
back to like ancient days.
Yep.
So I think in that sense, I have some of those things, but also like, I don't know who I could name as a perfect 10 because for me at least,
It's objective.
It's hard with looks because I think like if you're an ugly person, you could be so hot, but I will see you as a 1 because if you're a bad person, it's hard. That's why like with the person who's like when someone opens their mouth, they drop 10 notches and like I am a lot about who you are on the inside also determines how I feel about you on the outside.
Yes, this is very true. Also, respect for being an aesthetics respecter. And the golden ratio reference, that is what underlies
but
true
that- yeah.
beauty. Beauty is objective in my opinion.
That's how they built all the beautiful ancient ruins by using that ratio. So if it's still beautiful us nowadays, I think it will stand the test of time in
Symmetry
the way
and
body
proportion.
positivity
Chase,
will not.
are
Which guy
any
taught you
girls?
all this?
Chase, are any girls at this table a 10?
teachers.
No.
Okay, what do you have to say
My
about
dad.
that?
I thought we were rating ourselves factoring
Looks.
like.
It's just looks.
I feel like I'd have a different answer if we
What?
were just saying just
That
looks.
was the question.
See, and I'm the opposite. I would have a different answer if it was overall.
When they asked like
You'd
rate
be
yourself
lower
out of
if it
10,
was
I wasn't
overall?
thinking like just looks, just like yourself like as a person.
Yeah, no,
too.
your physical appearance.
Do you want me to re-answer?
Yeah.
I would say like 7.
Oh, okay, all right. What about for you? Still 10?
Not just a 10, a fat
Hey,
effing
she's a
10.
baddie all around. Baddies it's a full-time job.
Certified.
I mean,
Certified.
I still think I'm a fucking
Licensed.
certified baddie 10, whatever. But like, I'm also not gonna come for anybody who has a preference. Like, It is what it is. Like in some people's eyes, I'm probably like a 1. In some people's eyes, I'm a fat fucking 10. So I don't know. I mean, I'm still a fucking 10.
Is there a comma in that
know.
sentence? Okay. Just,
I feel like no one would date someone they didn't think was or at least marry someone that they didn't think was a 10, because like why would you want to be with someone that you're like, I could find hotter?
but don't you think it is delusional to consider yourself a 10? For those of you who rated yourselves a 10,
No.
whether in appearance or total package.
No.
I don't think it's like
I think it's
thinking that you're the
completely
perfect
delusional.
person, but just being like confident.
Dude, any person who says I am a 10 is basically saying I have zero room for improvement. I'm perfect.
That's
the
not
way
what
that
I
am.
said. I said
10
That's
is
what
perfect.
I hear, though.
Okay, but
that's what
that's
I
why
hear,
I let
and I
myself
think it's
1.2
delusional.
for improvement.
But this is what he just when she said that, I clarified if we would ask about our overall personality person as we are as a whole, I wouldn't give myself as a 10. But as attraction level, yeah, I'm peak athleticism, I'm pretty symmetric face. I would give myself a 10 right now. I'm not
Your peak
I can't-
athleticism?
peak.
What's your 40-yard dash?
Yeah, what's your
Peak-
40
How many
peak,
pull-ups can you do?
how would you word it
Peak
better,
fitness?
Sam? Peak fitness. I'm almost at my peak fitness. Not yet.
I would
That's
say
a lot.
I would say so.
Yeah, so I would give myself a 10 in that way. I'm not improving because you're just saying, you're saying you can't be better. Yeah, I can improve maybe my personality, things about me, but far as looks wise, there's not much improvement that's happening unless I get some outside help.
I
You're talking
do
about
think
plastic surgery?
I would not get plastic surgery.
I think I've only gotten hotter with time. I'm
You
just
think
gonna
I would
be
get
honest.
plastic surgery, Brian? Wait, Brian, you think I would get
Aging
plastic
like
surgery?
fine wine. What can I say?
You think I would get plastic surgery? What would I change?
Full-time
Huh?
job.
What would I change for
I think
myself?
I think we should move on. I think we should move on.
I think we should.
I
read
think
my
we
super
shouldn't.
chat.
I think we
Read
shouldn't.
my
Let's get
super
to
chat.
it in a
read
second.
Deborah's
Let's get to
super
it in a
chat.
second. I want to know, Sam, what would you rate yourself physically out of 10?
Physically out of 10, because I'm like 5'8", I'm like a 5. I think I have a handsome face. It's like a 7, but because I'm so sure I should just join the circus, I'm like a 5. However,
What would you do in the circus?
I would be the
Identify
short
as a
guy.
woman and be a bearded woman.
Yeah, but Sam, you're physically fit, right? You're like super physically fit, so doesn't that boost you up a bit?
You mean like in terms of physical attractiveness?
Yeah, you're a physically
Not only
fit
is
guy.
he physically fit, but he's a stone cold killer, bro. You
Yeah,
should see him on
you're
the
like,
jiu-jitsu
are you a
mat.
black
Honestly,
belt in jiu-jitsu?
UFC
I'm not a black
gyms.
belt, but I'm gonna be subbing some black belts this weekend, bro.
Let's
Oh,
go.
okay.
Let's go.
But no, yeah, I would say okay. Like, physically, I would say like more like a 6. But no, you don't agree, Kiko? What am I on a 10?
No,
Out of
I'm
10?
not gonna say that. I just think it's
Huh?
terrible to say that about yourself. I
Well,
would never want to date a man
I
who
think
calls
just because
who's on a platform and
realistic
called himself
appraisal.
Yeah,
a
it's
man.
what
just
humility.
What
It's
is your
humility.
boyfriend
But I'm
rate
not
himself?
finished.
What is your
I don't know.
boyfriend?
You'd probably rate himself a 10, and I know he's a 10. He's fine.
Can you
as fuck.
text him? Text him and then go ahead.
I would say all things considered, because we're just doing physical attractiveness, but I don't want to do that because as a man, you provide value. There's so much more to a man's personality, or to a man than just how he is. I mean, I've heard from women that depending on a man's personality, his like physical frame literally changes for them when he owns who he is and when he brings the right energy. So in that sense, I would say an 8 because I'm not yet where I want to be in life, but I'm getting there.
I totally agree, and that's something that I don't know if it's just like I'm the only person in the history of the world to ever feel this way. It's probably unlikely, but I have not met any other people really close to me that have had the same experience. It's very rare for me to find a guy and be like, he's so hot, like just off the cusp, seeing him like across the room, be like, wow, that guy is like a perfect 10. I think that's half that just people are very ugly these days because they don't take care of themselves, but also I definitely am somebody that like the more I am attracted to somebody's personality, the hotter they look to me. And someone who, if I just looked at them and I was like, oh, they're a 7, if I started talking to them and found out that they were like a really great man of God, strong personality, very masculine, I'd be like, wow, in my eyes, he's a 10. And I feel like everyone should feel that way about their partner. They may have the objective looks, but when you get to know them, their total person is a 10.
Base. And that's what I was going to say to you when you said, like, why would you want to date someone that's not physically a 10?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, all things considered, you have to look at their values and you have to look at everything else. Like, ideally, you're not going to date anyone below like an 8, and you're going to be, at that point, you're really attracted to someone who's an 8. And then working on that, you can be even more attracted to them based on how their personality is and how you complement
The
one another.
combination, that's what I
But let me ask you something. When you look at a guy, and this is for anyone can answer, when you look at a guy, is like what makes him physically attractive kind of having a more feminine, beautiful face to you? Or is it having like more of a rugged like masculine look, because I've seen girls look at like Timothy Chalamet and look at like these guys that look like they have defined bone structure and they're aesthetic and they have the golden ratio, but they just come off, they have like a skinny
They're
neck.
too
and
perfect that
just-
they're
There's a
ugly.
word for it.
They're
It's
what?
men who
They're
give
too
off
perfect
feminine
that they're
vibes.
ugly.
Hold
No,
on,
but
let's
there
go
are
one
some
by
men
one.
who are
I
kind
feel
of
like
feminine looking, you know?
teenage girls like
Yeah.
those like Timothy Chalamet like type guys. But
Softies.
once they like grow older, they like the like
More
more rugged
masculine.
masculine.
All right, I've got to say it. This was a masterclass in delusion. Look, I'm all for confidence, but calling yourself a 10 means there's nothing to improve. And let's be honest, no one is perfect. That kind of mindset doesn't come from self-love. It comes from refusing to grow. In my opinion, it's this exact attitude that keeps people stuck. If you can't handle the truth or even entertain the idea of self-improvement, how do you expect to evolve in anything? Relationships, career, personal goals. All of it requires honesty with yourself. Andrew didn't even have to say much, because the rating said everything. But hey, maybe I'm being too harsh. What do you think? Was she just being confident, or was it straight up delusional? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your take on this one. And if you're enjoying these breakdowns, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next wild moment we react to. That's a wrap for today. Stay grounded, stay honest, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.